Welcome to the fifth video of the Consumer Protection Act under the law of torts. So friends, till now we discussed the meaning of the consumer, the history of the Consumer Protection Act, the objective of the act, the very important aspect of the negligence which would decide the liability part under the Consumer Protection Act. Then we discussed certain important terms or rather the definitions under the act. Then we discussed the consumer protection councils of the act where the rights of the consumers are protected. So now moving on with the redressal agency system, let's get started with the understanding and the composition and discussing different aspects of the consumer dispute redressal agencies. The Act provides for the establishment of the three-tier dispute redressal agencies which are for the consumer protection, which are known as the Consumer Protection Redressal Agencies. Now these redressal agencies, they are empowered to entertain the different complaints which comes to them from the consumers, and they have to fulfill the different requirements and provide justice with regard to the same complaints as per the described jurisdiction. Now these three-tier agencies will be forming into the three-tier system again. So friends, the redressal agencies, the three-tier redressal agencies will be termed as given on the screen. The first is the district forum, the second is the state commission, and the third is the national commission. Now under the district forum, we shall be looking into different aspects such as the composition of the forum, the disqualifications of the members, then interim orders, their term of the working, etc. etc. So the compositions of the district forum, as you can see on the screen, goes like a person who is qualified to be the district judge, who shall be that person can become the president of the district forum. Two other members who shall be the person of the ability, integrity and standing can of course become the other members of the district forum. Now section 10 of the act discusses about the compositions of the district forum, which under which by the amendment act the disqualifications of these members were also added. Now what are the grounds for the disqualifications of the members of the district forum? Moral turpitude, undischarged insolvency, unsound mind, removal from the services by any government, then having any financial interest in the matters, etc. etc. If any of these issues are being proven right or correct, then that person, that member can be discharged or rather disqualified from the district forum authority. Now friends, let's keep in mind one thing, that these redressal agencies, they work for the objective to be fulfilled. They work for the compensation to be given. They work for the interim orders to be passed. So if the members are having any such qualities which are not allowed by the law, then they should be discharged or they should be disqualified from the post which has been entitled upon them. Now these members can hold upon their office if not disqualified till the term of the 5 years or till they become the age of 16. Okay, anyone which would come first, they would be able to hold the office till that time. Now moving on with the procedure for filing the complaints, as you can see on the screen, any consumer to whom the goods or the services is delivered, any recognized consumer association, one or more consumer and the central and the state government can file the complaint to the district agencies. Now friends, when we are talking about filing of the complaint, they will be deciding about the interim orders. But let's keep one thing in mind, that the district forum has no power to issue the interim orders or injunctions for whatever matters that comes to them. When we are talking about dealing with different issues that would come to the redressal agencies, we should keep in mind that these three-tier system must be following the jurisdiction that has been entitled upon them. Now, the jurisdiction of the district forum has been discussed and described under section 11 of the Consumer Protection Act. The jurisdiction of the district forum. District forum shall have the jurisdiction to entertain the complaints where the value of the goods or the services and the services of the compensation, if any which is claimed, does not exceed the 1 lakh rupees. 20 lakh rupees. The same complaint shall be instituted in the district forum within the local limits of whose jurisdiction the cause of action, wholly or partly, has arisen. Other than the given jurisdiction, if the matter is exceeding the amount given, which is 20 lakhs for the district forum, the same matter cannot be there entered in the district forum. It has to go to the next level, which is the state forum. Further, the manner of the making the complaint in the district redressal agency, the procedure for the admission of the complaint, and the power of the district forum shall be discussed along in this video. Now, according to section 12 of the Consumer Protection Act, the manner of the making complaint has been prescribed very precisely. The complaint can be made by the complainant as defined under section 2 in the previous videos. Now, this complaint has to be made with the prescribed procedural fees which is established by the law. Now, on receipt of the complaint under this section, the district forum by order, it may allow the complaint or it may reject the complaint. But remember, when the complaint is rejected, it does not mean that the complainant will not have the chance of being heard. They are always having the chance of being heard because the rights and the protection of the rights of the consumers is of the prime importance and the basic objective of the Act. Now, where a complaint is allowed to be proceeded under these subsections, the district forum may proceed with the complaint in the manner as provided by this Act. Now, section 12, as we stated, provides this kind of manner of making the complaint. Now, moving on with the procedure of the admissions of the complaint, which is explained under section 13. Now, section 13 of this Act reads as follows, that the procedure on the admission of the complaint should be fulfilled by the district redressal agencies. Now, the district forum shall refer a copy of the admitted complaint within 21 days of the time from the date of the admission to the opposite party as mentioned and in the prescribed manner given under the Act, so that the other party will have the chance to prepare their side of the case and present their version within the period of the 30 days, which may be extended but not exceeding 15 days as may be granted by the district forum. Now, where the opposite party on receipt of the complaint which is referred to him under subclause 1, if it denies or disputes the allegations contained in the complaint, or he omits or he fails to take any kind of actions to represent his own case within the time prescribed, then the district forum shall proceed to settle the consumer dispute in the manner as specified under the clause C to G. Now friends, that means this procedure will be there in the further subsections. Now, under subsection C, what has been stated, that where the complainant alleges a defect in the goods which cannot be determined without the proper analysis or test of the good, the district forum shall obtain the sample of such goods and in the sealed manner, of course, and along with that directions of that goods to be examined and analyzed in a proper laboratory, and the test for the further test, the sample should be given as prescribed by the Act. Now, before any sample of that good is referred to the appropriate laboratory, under subclause C, the district forum may require the complainant to dispose to the credit to the forum such the fees which has been prescribed. So, after this procedure of the laboratory testing has been done, if the finding of the laboratory testing is not admissible by any of the parties, they can of course give it in writing to the appropriate authority under this section only. Now, this means, friends, that they are being given reasonable opportunity of being heard and also of being able to represent their case, or rather their version of the case, in the court of law or in the authority for the proper justice delivery. So friends, this would mean that the power of the district forum can be analyzed and drawn as stated, that the first power is summoning and enforcing the attendance of any of the parties, then discovery of the production of any documents, receptions or any affidavit as required, or any requisitions of the report, or issuing any commission of the examination of any witnesses, etc., etc. So, with these powers, the district forum will be working ahead. So, if the same is been described and prescribed, we can move on with the state consumer dispute redressal agencies compositions. So friends, starting with the state commission, each state commission shall consist of the person who is qualified to become the judge of the high court, who shall become the president, of course. The two other members who shall become the persons of the ability, integrity and standing, as we discussed for the district consumer forum, should become the members, and this is how the whole composition of the state commissions will take place. The grounds of the disqualifications of this member would be exactly same as they are being followed for the district consumer redressal agencies. Moving on to the office and the place of the sitting of the state commission, the office of the state commission shall be located at the capital of the state. The working days on the office hours of the state commission shall be same as the state government. The office seal and emblem of the state commission shall be such as the government as may be specified. Sitting of the state commission shall be conveyed and controlled by the further authorities. The jurisdiction of the state commission. The state commission shall have the jurisdiction to entertain the complaint where the value of the goods and the services are exceeding 20 lakh rupees. Now friends, keep this in mind that if the same amount is exceeding, it will be going to the state commission. But if the claim is below 20 lakh, it will go to the district forum. The state commission shall have the jurisdiction to entertain the appeals against the order which lies from the district forum. The state commission shall also have the jurisdiction to call for the records and pass any appropriate orders in any customer dispute which is pending before the district forum within the state. Any person who is aggrieved by the order which is made by the state commission may prefer an appeal against that order to the National Commission, of course, within a time period of 30 days from the date of the order. National Commission may entertain an appeal after the expiry of such period, and if it is satisfied that there was sufficient cause for not filing it within the time period, the appeal shall stand. Now, the third and the most important tier agency authority would include the National Commission. Now, the person who is qualified to become the judge of the Supreme Court shall become the president, of course, and two other members having the same ability, integrity and standing will become the other two members. The disqualification ground would be similar as of the district and the state. The office of the National Commission shall be located in Delhi. The working days of the office hours of the state commission shall be same as the central government. The office seal and emblem as stated would be following the rules and regulations given by the government as may be specified. Now, the next question would be, what would be the jurisdiction of the National Commission? National Commission shall have the jurisdiction to entertain the complaints where the value of the goods and the services and the complaints which are claimed are exceeding 25 lakh rupees. But it was later on substituted by the Act of 2002, Amendment Act. The jurisdiction which is there with the National Commission can be distributed amongst the following ones. The first is the original jurisdiction. The second is the appellate jurisdiction, and the third would be supervisory or revisional jurisdiction. So friends, that would mean that the National Commission is having the highest authority to entertain the cases with regard to the jurisdiction which has been entrusted upon them. The cases can be filed originally directly to the National Commission, that would be the original jurisdiction. The appellate jurisdiction, that means that the National Commission will be having the powers to entertain the matters which are appeals in the nature. The second is revisional or supervisory jurisdiction. That would mean that the National Commission is having extra power from any other commissions to entertain the cases with regard to the revisional matters. That means if any order has been passed, the National Commission has the power and the authority to revise the same orders. The details of the same has been prescribed under section 21. Now friends, remember that the time period and the procedural details have been given prescribed under the Consumer Protection Act. Now what are the powers of the National Commission? The National Commission is having the power to summon and enforce the attendance of any defiance or witnesses or examine the witnesses on the oath, to discover the procedure or any such documents which are of the material objective which are very important and can be considered as an evidence, and to receive the evidence on the affidavits. Now friends, the question would be there in our mind that we are going to these redressal agencies, but what are the reliefs or what are the kinds of the reliefs that a consumer would be having? So friends, there are certain kinds of the reliefs that are enlisted which any consumer would be having if the case has been proven so. Section 14 enlightens us about the same aspect. The consumer redressal authorities are entrusted and empowered to provide certain kinds of the relief, such as removal of the defects, replacement of the goods, refund of the price, then compensation for any loss or any injury that has occurred, removal of the deficiency from any of the services, then to order the discontinuation or repetition of the restrictive trade practices or unfair trade practices, to provide adequate costs to the parties which are there, along with the punitive damages if they are asking. So friends, with this I would keep an end to this video which conveys the district redressal agency, the state commission and the national commission, and certain highlights of the 3-tier agencies which provides the compensation in any of the manner as prescribed by the Act under the Consumer Protection Act. Keep learning friends. Take care.